Battle of Antietam. Early morning, the Union troops begin advancing forward. Seeing the glint of the morning sun off the Union artillery, Longstreet's artillery opens up, but to no effect. Combat begins when Hooker hits Jackson's left flank. Ewell's division is pushed off the hill, but at a cost. McLellan's army has lost an infantry block, while Lee has merely lost a detachment. Turn 2, mid-morning. We begin with Union artillery, returning the morning salutations to Longstreet's artillery. Longstreet's artillery takes a severe beating under the numerically superior Union artillery. Hooker continues his push on Jackson's left flank. Although they have to give ground, Hooker's attack receives a bloody repulse. The Union has now lost 2 blocks. In the center, on Jackson's line, John Porter, the Lion of Antietam, drives home. Although Porter's men are driven back, there is a hole in Lee's line. It's late morning, and Jackson will have to scramble to hold his line together. Although no Union troops are seen in the center, there are a lot of Union troops reported opposite the river on Longstreet's flank. How many troops can he send north to support Jackson? Once again, the Union artillery opens up on the newly reconstituted Southern artillery. Yes, Lee has deployed bags. And the Union artillery is positioned further south. Late morning combat. The remaining remnants of John Porter's corps follow their orders and attack to silence Jackson's artillery. In an effort to save his precious artillery, Jackson commits the exhausted remnants of Ewell's division. Artillery and melee fires first, and the remains of John Porter's corps are cut down by Jackson's grape. This huge battle in the West Woods. Let me step out of the narrative for a brief moment to explain how this is handled. The initial combat is fought first in the first round. So first I'll roll this attack where the Union is outflanked, then I'll roll this attack where the Confederate cavalry is outflanked. The first Confederate unit is a mere detachment, the last of Jackson's skirmishers. They are driven in, but at a cost. Stuart's flank attack from behind. Hampton's cavalry is lost. Meanwhile, Jackson's best troops hold tight in the West Woods. Burnside's troops are driven back. It's midday. Thus far, the North has lost 4 infantry blocks. The South has only lost 1. If the North loses 4 more blocks, they're broke. Interestingly, the South is also 4 blocks away from being broke. They break at 5, the North breaks at 8. Lee believes it's time for Jackson to pull back. Union artillery opens up and shells Longstreet's troops, protecting the bridge. In the early afternoon, as Jackson scrambles to reform his line, he sees A.P. Hill's corps marching up the road. What a welcome sight that is. Meanwhile, Longstreet's side of the battle has changed dramatically. Sumner's 2nd Corps has crossed the bridge, as has Franklin's 6th Corps a little farther north. Now he countermands his orders as he pulls back against Texans, his best troops. Early afternoon combat on the lower bridge. Although Sumner has fresh troops across the lower bridge, the cost was probably too much. McLellan has now lost 6 of 8 blocks. What will happen in this late afternoon? Union artillery fires on Longstreet's men, sending them tumbling back right into Longstreet's recalled troops, throwing all into confusion. Now we have Franklin's drive into Gettysburg. Only a detachment is left in the town, and they are swept aside. Mansfield's drive. Confederate artillery fires first, driving off the lead unit. The artillery is pulled to safety, but the attack persists. Although the South is driven off the hill, Mansfield's corps is in ruins, and the tattered remains of Hooker's corps is attacking Jackson's best troops, though they are quite exhausted. But Jackson's men hold as Hooker's fall. In the late afternoon, McLellan's army has suffered 50% losses. They are broke. The South has only lost one block. Next turn, Lee can deploy bags down here, and his whole line will recover to fresh. McLellan surrenders. Good game.